Farmers who voted for the president are now drowning in regret. Fields are empty, crops are rotting, and the promise of affordable food is nothing but a lie. Why?
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For those who are new, thank you so much for watching my video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Today's video we're going to talk about Nebraska state is going down. It's going to bankruptcy. The farmers are being affected. Yes, why? Because there are no workers. There are no workers to go to work in those farms. I remember 70% of Nebraska, they voted red. They voted for Republican, and now the policies of Republican is affecting them where it has the most, and that is their farms, because Nebraska state is basically mainly 80%, 90% is farm land. They literally depend on undocumented immigrants to go into those fields and do the work. Yes, you have me correct. They depend on undocumented immigrants to go into those fields and do the work, where they collect those produce, and of course those produce you'll find them in the supermarket or in the farm market where they're being sold. But right now, as we speak, the farmers are literally begging to get workers, because there are no workers who are going into those farms, because undocumented immigrants have moved to other states, or other of the states, to go back to their home, because they don't want to be raided. They don't want their life to be disrupted. So there are no workers. So right now, in the next 6 months down the line, if Nebraska state doesn't do anything about it, it's going to go bankrupt. So let's watch this video, and I'm gonna break it down, why it's happening, why it's affecting them, and please don't forget to subscribe.
Farmers who voted for the president are now drowning in regret. Fields are empty, crops are rotting, and the promise of affordable food is nothing but a lie. Why? Because the workers who powered this country's agriculture are gone, too scared to work, or deported under stricter immigration policies. These farmers believed in change. They trusted promises that food prices would drop and life would get easier. Instead, prices for essentials like eggs and produce are skyrocketing. Ranchers can't find enough hands to work their land, crops are dying in the fields. These broken promises have not only hurt farmers, but every family counting on affordable food. The rich keep getting richer while the rest of America is left in the dust. What's next for these betrayed ranchers? And who will hold the president accountable for the lies? This is the America they didn't vote for. Stay tuned. Faced with uncertainty, these farmers are now rallying together, determined to raise their voices against the broken promises that have led to their struggles. This gathering represents a turning point. United, they seek to reclaim their voices and demand the change they were promised. Determined to make their plight known, farmers mobilize for change, taking their demands to the streets in a show of solidarity and strength.
President Trump's promise of mass deportations have sent fears to the Central Valley, where migrant farm workers aren't showing up to work. The California Farm Bureau says the industry's taken a hit after immigration agents conducted several operations in Kern County last week, and workers not showing up to work may lead to higher food prices. Here's why.
They're not going to show up for work, and that means crops will remain in the field and not be harvested and probably lost at that point.
The Farm Bureau joined Monterey County in pledging to do what they can to protect workers and their families.
They were called essential workers during the pandemic when our nation needed them, and now they are asking us to be there for them when they need us.
question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska?
Hey girl, as a Texan from a cattle ranching family now living in Florida, we did. We cared about y'all so much. That's why we told y'all for so long. Gosh, I've been screaming it for, I don't know, since at least, I don't know, the Tea Party. 08, 09? We broke it down. Project 2025. Over and over. Y'all didn't listen. So now my only responses is first, bless your fucking heart. Second of all, this is what you voted for. So they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
I did a video and then I had to mute it because I misspoke. Gosh, I hate when you do that. But let's talk about why Nebraska's broke. So, Governor Pillen, who is our current governor, in 2023 shoved through a tax cut to the wealthy and the corporations in the state of Nebraska, which is now leading to a significant revenue shortfall for the state, $433 million annually. But let's talk about the little bit of history on Pillen. So Pete Ricketts was the previous governor. He's now our state senator. But Pete Ricketts is a billionaire. His brother owns Ameritrade, also a billionaire. So a billionaire family with lots of money to run campaigns. And that's why he was so successful. But then he endorsed Pillen and sent money to Pillen's campaign. But Pillen's also wealthy. So what they did with this tax cut was they said they could make up the shortfalls from it using the C-19 money that was given to the state, which they did for a couple of years, but now that's gone. And so now the state is facing shortages, 433 million to be exact annually. The average person in Nebraska only makes $74,000, so an individual only makes about half of that. It is not a very high salary game here. And therefore, we're not going to make up that shortfall in our salary income taxes. So what they're doing is they're trying to up our property values. So to give you an example, I'll use my own home. I bought the home in 2017. It's a very small home, 1,000 square feet. It had $1,400 annually for taxes for the property. And now it has $2,800. So that means that they've doubled our property values taxation, which has led to a lot of Nebraskans being very unhappy. But why don't Democrats be more successful here? Well, the issue is they don't have the money for the campaigns, so the ads are in our face constantly, and rural people don't quite understand what they're voting for, because just like our current president is full of lies and twisted information, and they usually attack the other side. They find even the smallest little thing and capitalize on it and say the other person's bad for this reason. But what is also a problem is that we can't retain people after they graduate from college. There's not a significant salary level to keep them in the state, so they leave and go elsewhere. We're not keeping them around. And that shortfall is just getting worse and worse because it's an aging population. So those of us that stay here for the most part are older, or they're young people with no money that can't leave the state. So that shortage is going to just keep getting worse and worse. They have promised tax cuts to the property values, but they have yet done anything. They've said it for 3 years now, and they still haven't done anything about it. So that $3 billion tax cut to the corporations and the wealthy is the same playbook that our president wants to do. So our nation's going to be facing the same kind of shortfall. And this means that they have to cut programs to the poor and the weak and the sick and the old. And that's what's happening in Nebraska. It's going to happen at the national level, and we have that to look forward to at the national level. But that's why Nebraska's going broke.
Happy Thursday, guys.
I saw this interesting video last night I wanted to discuss. There was this white woman from Nebraska, a farmer. She came on this video and she had one question. She said, does anybody in America care about Nebraska? Does anybody care about Nebraska? No. No, we don't. Let me tell you why I say this. 60% of Nebraska voted for Donald Trump, despite the fact he spent his entire election talking about his mass deportation plans. 65% of Nebraska workforce is illegal immigrants. Nebraska is a farming state, overran with farms. Now, 60% of Nebraskans voted for Trump. 65% of their workforce is illegal immigrants. And in 6 months, Nebraska's state will be going bankrupt. In 6 months, Nebraska will go belly up because they have lost their 65% of their working force in their farming industry. And she has the audacity, the caucasity to get on here and ask if anybody cares about Nebraska. No, you don't care about Nebraska. Nebraska doesn't care about Nebraska. I'm sorry for the 40% that voted blue. I'm sorry for them. But Nebraska, no, baby, no, not a bit. When you go out here and do these self-inflicted wounds, don't come out crying, expecting for somebody to baby you up. No, you're gonna swallow that. You're gonna eat that. You're gonna eat that. So now you guys are losing your farms. You've already lost your workforce. And as soon as it gets dire, the big farming corporations are going to swoop in and they're going to buy up your farms for pennies on the dollar. All because you true blue to Republican and Donald Trump that you're willing to even sacrifice your own livelihood and your own farms, your own way of life. Republicans mean so much to you. Donald Trump means so much to you. And what they represent and what they stand for means so much to you. To you guys are willing to sacrifice everything. And you have. Now you want to come out crying, does anybody freaking care? Did you? Did you? Because it doesn't look like you cared enough to me. You didn't even care enough to do what was best for you. You own your own farm. The last time Trump was in the office, the farming industry took a beating. And they had to be bailed out. A lot of the smaller farms didn't get those bailouts. So they just went belly up. And y'all took y'all simple-minded butts right on back in them boots and asked for another round of losing your farms. And you want us to care when you don't. Y'all are mind-baffling. You are so entitled. You think that you're supposed to go out here and do whatever you want to do, make whatever horrific choices you want to make, and make them to be detrimental to others. And then when your shit blow up, you want the others who you meant harm to come in and baby you and to care about you. Girl, please go sit down. Go. I tell you what you need to be doing. What you might need to be trying to work out some plans with these big farm corporations. You know, maybe they'll let you stay on and work the land. You know, this might be, you know, you guys may have ushered in your own season of sharecropping. I mean, y'all had no problem using it on black people. You know, for years y'all took advantage. Hundreds of years y'all took advantage of people sharecropping. So, you know, look into that. That's one alternative. At least being able to keep a roof over your head, huh? And then, you may get ready. Because the big farming corporations, they're coming for you. But I want to ask you this. Who do you think is funding one of the biggest farming corporation groups out there? There's this group called Trader Acres. They're known for going out and buying up smaller farms for pennies on the dollars. Well, guess who's a major funder of that organization? Y'all voted for him too. Yeah, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is heavily funded in this Trader Acres, and they are known for buying up small family farms for pennies on the dollar. Yeah. See how they getting you? Every which way you turn, they getting y'all. And y'all are just sitting back, allowing it to take place. So, if you don't care about your own well-being, why in the world do you guys want us to care? Why? You guys had all the information that you needed before you went in that booth. He did not lie to you. In this instance, he did not lie. He was transparent in this instance. He really was, because he told y'all the entire time, mass deportation, mass deportation. And y'all was just hollering, yay, yay, like it wasn't going to affect you at all. Like it was something y'all really wanted. That's why he kept saying it, because it generated such applause. Y'all knew this. You can't lie and say you didn't know that. Yes, you did. You can't lie and say I didn't vote for that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And now it's just coming to reap. You're reaping what you sow. You're reaping what you sow. So don't expect to get sympathy from people who you intended to be harmed by these decisions you were making. The only difference is you got caught when you thought it was going to be others. No, I don't feel sorry for that. No, I don't care about that. I really don't. There are people that are out here that did not ask for this, that has to deal with it. Those are the people that I care about. Those are the people that matter to me. Not the ones that did a self-inflicted wound to their temple, and now you want everybody to run around here and try to bandage up your head. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Because not only was it a bad decision, but it was a decision based off of pure hatred, vile, disgust. I mean, it came from the deepest rooted place of evil. And I'm going to tell you something, in case y'all didn't catch it, listen to this again. 60% of Nebraskans voted for Trump. 60%. 60. 65% of their workforce is illegal immigrants. 65. Right? And in 6 months, they're going bankrupt. Can we say 6? 6. 6. Just food for thought. Y'all have a great day.
Nebraska state, Nebraska farmers, I feel for you. I am so sorry for what you guys are going through right now. It's been said that the Nebraska state is about to go bankrupt. Nebraska's farmers, they are currently facing heavy losses because there are no workers to work in their farms, because Nebraska farmers, they 70-80% they largely depend on undocumented Hispanic workers who live and work in those farms. And right now, with the current administration in power, there's immigration policy which is being applied right now, where undocumented workers are being mass deported back to their home countries, and it's happening all over United States. So right now, currently, all undocumented workers, immigrants, are not going to work. They are hiding, or they've moved to friendly states where they're going to do their jobs over there. So states like Nebraska right now, they're really suffering. They're really feeling the effect of the mass deportation of undocumented workers. And most farmers right now, they're saying they're going bankrupt, because who is going to those farms to take care of the cattle, who's going to those farms to take care of the corns products on the farm? No one. So right now people are really suffering. The Nebraska farmers are suffering, and the funny part is 70% or 80% of Nebraska state is a red state. Most of them, majority of them, they voted for the current president in America, and right now they are really suffering the consequences because the current president, right, when he ran for presidency, he said that he's gonna deport over 20 million undocumented immigrants, especially from the Hispanic communities, because those are the majority. And currently, with the way things are going, people are not going to farm. The undocumented migrants are not going to farms, because those are the types of jobs they usually do. They're not going to those farms. They're not looking for jobs in those farms. They have moved away from those states where they are literally, especially the red states, they have moved away from them because they are so unfriendly. They're so unfriendly to them because they don't want to be deported. So they decided, you know what, let's move to friendlier states where they can do their work over there and hide and do their job. That's basically what they are doing. So as a result, we are seeing the consequences, and now Nebraska farmers are suffering and they're about to go bankrupt. So what's going to happen? That's the reason why they usually tell you, for every decision you make, you have to look at yourself. Ask yourself those critical questions. What is it in for you? What is it for you? So you voted and now you're suffering. Now you're going to lose those farms. Now you're going to lose your products. Now you're going to lose your cattle. And who's going to pay for that? You, yourself. They always tell you, you're always told, you know, do your research, make the right call, so that you don't end up suffering at the end of the day. So currently people are suffering in Nebraska, and people right now, they are looking at them and say, you voted against your own best interest, so what are you going to do? Who are you going to cry to ask for help? Who? Unless you look at yourself critically in the mirror and realize you've made the mistake, you voted against your best interest, and now it's time for you to pay the price. They always say karma. Usually karma is real, and this is the karma. This is the reality of what's happening. I feel for the Nebraska farmer. I feel for everything that's happening to them. But at the end of the day, they need to look at them critically in the face and own up to the mistakes they have made. Own up to the reality of what they voted for. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and please, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe. And as always, this is Nishika Talk. Hi my people, welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, this is a new channel coming up. We are going to talk about everything from politics to dating world to cultural exchange and many others. So please stay tuned, and please support me. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers, guys. Nebraska farmers, I feel for you. Nebraska state, I feel for you. 70% of you or 80% of you voted for Donald Trump. 80% of you voted for the current administration. And right now you are feeling the effect of the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. Yes. Is it painful? Yes. Is it sad? Yes. Is it a situation where it could be avoided? Yes. But unfortunately, it is what it is. We are currently facing the reality of our choices. The choice we make, always there's a direct reaction to it. You voted, and now these are the results. So what's going to happen? Well, let's see.